Folkestone Auto Supply, located at 4439 2nd Street North in Folkestone, Georgia, is owned and operated by the Dasher family. They have everything you need, bumper to bumper, for domestic and foreign car parts. Big truck operators, they have you covered as well with belts, seals, hoses, welding supplies, and so much more. They even have lawnmower parts, blades, and accessories. Stop by today and see the whole crew. Miss Joe, Pam, Little Sammy, Stephen, Dylan, and Big Sammy himself. It's Folkestone Auto Supply.
Folkestone Pharmacy and Electronics, located at 3885 Main Street in the heart of downtown Folkestone. They're Folkestone's original hometown pharmacy with 49 years serving the community. They have everything you need, including household items, prescription medications, high-tech electronics, and much more. Their experienced and friendly staff in the pharmacy and electronics department are ready to serve you. Folkestone Pharmacy and Electronics is a proud sponsor of Charlton Sports. Go Indians!
Good evening and welcome back to the Coach Mack Show. I'm Adam Bell for Charlton Sports Net, along with head coach Rich McCorder of the Charlton County Indians. Playoff week, Coach. Second round, we made it past Montgomery in a shootout. I mean, that was, you said it was going to be a track meet last week. I think it was an Olympic track meet.
I tell you, it was some kind of game. It was 49-46, I think the final score was. You look at the yardage on the stats my coaching staff, my offensive guys, they feel good. My defensive guys, they're down in the dumps and all upset. When the game was over, of course, we're sitting in here talking about the game and talking about the upcoming week, and my defensive coaches are sitting over there huddled up, just feeling like it's the end of the world, and then my offensive coaches are over here. They're all excited and great game and all that, put up all the points. But, talking about our defense, it was a tough night on the defensive side. No two ways about it. You look at the film, and it shows that we missed exactly 30 tackles that we should have made, which gave up a lot of yards. Montgomery County on the ground, they had 39 carries for 247 yards, which was a 6.3 average. And they had 7 rushing touchdowns. Through the air, Montgomery County had 145 yards through the air. So if you go into a game and you were told that you're going to give up 7 rushing touchdowns, you're going to give up 247 on the ground and 145 in the air, you're going to think that you just got completely blown out of the game. But offensively, we were able to keep producing yards. We had 23 first downs, but we gave up 19. Penalties have been an issue with us all year long. It's just silly penalties. And it's something we talk about, we work on all the time, trying to reduce those, and we felt like playoff officials, you get a little bit better officials when it comes to playoffs, and I feel like they were a good crew. They did a good job, but still we were penalized 13 times for 125 yards, just really double what it should have been. Offensively for us, Raekwon Anderson just had a huge night. AJ had a big night also. throwing the football and run the football. We really needed Raekwon to run the football tonight. That night he had 15 carries for 192 yards and 2 touchdowns. That was huge for us right there. AJ had a rushing touchdown, which was huge. He broke down the protection, and he just took off and just took it to the end zone. Great effort by him. Total rushing for us was 36 carries for 251 yards. That's a 7 average for 3 touchdowns. So if you look at that, the game was very close. It came down to basically extra points, us making ours, them missing theirs, and conversions, 2-point conversions, and so forth. We had a 7-yard rush average. They had a 6.3-yard rush average. We also scored 4 times through the air. AJ had 181 yards passing on 24 attempts, 14 completions, and for 3 touchdowns. And Raekwon had 1 touchdown pass to AJ, which is a little bit of a wrinkle for us if you've seen us play this year. And of course, that's a total of 218 yards in the air. So really somewhat balanced, 218 in the air, 251 on the ground. And then Raekwon had 86 yards receiving with 2 touchdowns. Saquon Clark had a nice night catching the football with 4 catches, 50 yards, and a touchdown. And of course, we mentioned AJ had also a touchdown reception. So I guess AJ had the hat trick. He had 3 touchdowns throwing the ball, had a touchdown receiving the ball, had another touchdown rushing the ball. So huge game for AJ, huge game for Raekwon. I felt like our offensive line did really a pretty good job. You know, talking about the defensive side, what went wrong, I felt like our defensive line played okay, really played okay. I think it's the levels back from that where we really struggled at linebacker and at defensive back. I felt like that's part of the defense we really had a lot of trouble with, and we've got to get better, do better. Of course, seasons, you know, we're second round of the playoffs, time's running out. You're not going to have a lot of do-overs, a lot of opportunity to get better the following week, so you better get things taken care of right now. And I know our defensive coaches have worked hard over the weekend, prepared for this next round, and worked hard trying to figure out some different matchups and different things we can do on the defensive side of the ball. So hopefully we'll have that. We'll have a better outing on that side of the ball. Daniel Mack, I thought, had a really good game at defensive end. He had six tackles. He also had a quarterback sack. Probably the biggest tackle he had, all the way from the defensive end position all the way over right on the sidelines to stop the quarterback from getting in the end zone for the 2-point conversion. I mean, he was there just in time to stop him from crossing the end zone. It was just a huge effort play by Daniel Mack, junior defensive end. So really proud of him. I think he had the best night of any of our defenders on the defensive side of the ball. So hopefully he can build on that and continue to have another great week this week.
I know after a game like Friday night, it was exciting. I mean, I'm thankful we came out on the. It's one of those games where whoever has the ball last is probably going to be the winner. Is there any plays left in the playbook, Coach? I think we pulled everything out. Right?
We still have, you know, if Commerce is watching, we still have some more stuff left. That's you know, part of being in coaching on the offensive side of the ball is imagination. You might have saw our heavy package if you saw the game. Of course, Commerce has all our films; they've seen it, and the heavy package really, without us doing it, I'm not sure we don't win the game. Without us asking Raekwon to carry the ball 15 times and for 192 yards and 2 touchdowns, you know, we don't come out on top on this thing. It's just a really, I thought offensively it was a good adjustment for us. It was a good package for us. It's going to be the part of the package this week, but still we're going to use everything we got. We're going to we talked this today about, some of our offense. We're getting ready to put together our final offensive package for the game, and we talked really about, we got to do the things we do well. We can't really waste a lot of plays and a lot of time on that kind of that stuff that's not been great for us. We got to really zero in on these are the things we do well. These are the things we're going to hang our hat on. These are the things we're going to really use. And the biggest thing you might notice is just with our offensive set, us not, we got, Eric Daniels. I'm sorry, Eric Daniels hasn't, been on the offensive side of the ball. He's been having some injury problems, so he won't be playing really much offense. We used him some. He had 6 carries when we really needed him for 33 yards. But a lot of people don't take into account who's has injuries and who's not. Health-wise, this late in the season. We played 10 football games, so that's some stuff that's starting to come into account is the injuries. So that's some stuff we've been working around.
It was one of those games. Both the offenses were scoring so fast. Defenses didn't really have time to get a breath. I mean, as a defensive coordinator, Coach Woods had to have been pulling his hair out. I mean, since they're on the field, they're back out there.
Yeah, Coach Pender, he's our defensive coordinator, along with Gabe Wittenberg and Norris Woods. They work great together. Those guys really, to their credit, they kept their calm during the whole game, and they kept working everything, working the adjustments and working the personnel. Like I said, we've had some injuries. We had 3 injuries on the defensive side of the ball Friday night during the game where we had to make adjustments. The guys had to come off the bench and go play some really critical minutes on the defensive side of the ball. And to their credit, they hung in there. The defensive coaches hung in there, and I feel for those guys because I tell you, they're outstanding football coaches. Believe me, I've seen really, really good football coaches, and those guys are good coaches, and they do a great job. It just comes down to personnel. It comes down to adjustments and matchups and that sort of thing. And it got hard on us with the injuries late in the game, and it really the entire game. You got to give Montgomery a tremendous amount of credit, especially the offensive side of the ball. Their offensive scheme, I thought, was terrific. Their offensive play calling, I thought, was just fantastic. The execution, number 7, number 2, on the offensive side of that quarterback, that he may have been as good a football player we've seen all year. And along with Raekwon and AJ, he was the best player on the field, I thought. And number 2, just Montgomery's always had great athletes. We see him at track meets, and we talked about that, how they're so good in track. You got a glimpse of that on the football field, what track does for a football team. And Montgomery just was up and down the field, tremendous speed, tremendous athleticism, and you could see why they had such a good year and why they were in the playoffs. And I knew, and the coaches knew, that it was going to be a tough game. It was going to be a game that could come down to the end. Now, 49-46, didn't realize it was going to be quite like that, but really a lot of credit to our kids also for just, withstand the storm the whole game and just playing terrific football, fighting all the way to the end. Something that really doesn't show up that much in the stats would have to be the job A.J. Bell did on his kickoffs. I thought he kicked off really well. The first one went into the end zone. We haven't had one of those in a couple of years, so that was really great. A.J. had some nice deep kickoffs, which gave them a long field, which gave our defense a chance at least. A short field, it would have been awful. But again, credit to our coaches, credit to our kids especially for just keep fighting. Tough game. A lot of teams would have just really folded up, I think, especially when they got behind in the fourth quarter. But our kids fought right back and just did a great job. And they're to be commended on just not giving up and giving a great effort.
I know at the end of the game, there was a lot of people talking about obviously Raekwon and AJ and the game they had. But to me, one of the big differences to me in the outcome of the game was special teams. Brantley Sloan nailing those extra points turned out to be a big difference because we blocked
It really was, and of course when we had to go for two, we were able to get it done. The offensive line did a great job. I think our offensive line probably had one of their better games than they've had in a while, so a credit to them and Coach Russ Murray, the offensive line coach. So we got, we got our points and we had to get them on the extra points and on the 2-point conversion that we made and their 2-point conversion that we stopped. Especially Daniel Mack on that great play down in the corner of the end zone in front of the goal line there. But it was one of those games where just if you like offense, if you like points, you like yards, it was your kind of game. If you like defense, it was a really a tough game to watch.
All right, Coach, are you ready to dive into some highlights?
Sure.
As you see, we have a whole bunch from Friday night. This is the first one. This is the first touchdown by Raquan Anderson.
And this is our heavy package where, you can see, obviously, we have all the offensive linemen in there just trying to knock people straight off the football. Great job by the offensive line. You can see where they push the defense back and create all kinds of voids. And of course, Raquan has great vision, so this is a perfect set for him and just a great job by him to get in the end zone.
Next one. All right, here we go, Coach. This is the second one in the second quarter.
Of course, our empty set, just a great throw. I mean, a perfect throw by AJ, right where it had to be, up and outside. I believe we got Raquan, one of his touchdown catches. Just great throw, great protection by the offensive line. Really good route, good post route right here by Raquan. Middle of the field, they're playing some zero coverage, and we knew we had to take advantage of the zero coverage, and we did. So great play, and you'll see something similar to that later on. We catch him again in zero coverage and took advantage of it.
This is number 3. This is Saquon Clark's touchdown.
Yep. Saquon's in the bomb here in the slot. Great job by AJ getting away. Just really, it was a cross route or a drag route from one side to the other. Hopefully clearing out one side. Just a great job by AJ avoiding the rush right here. They're number 5. I wish I knew what that kid's name was, but right that defensive end, he's about 5'7", probably about 160 pounds, all heart, all football player. Just amazing job by that kid. That kid right there, we highlighted him Monday to show our players that you don't have to be a big, strong, muscled up guy to play this game at high school level. Just great effort, great heart, and that number 5 right there putting the rush on AJ just was an incredible player all night long. But right here, really another great throw by AJ, great catch right here in the corner, right by the sideline, the corner of the end zone by Saquon Clark, who's a sophomore.
This next one seemed to be a theme, Anderson to Bell or Bell to Anderson. You could flip them around Friday night. This one's Bell to Anderson.
Again, Raquan, big year all along, and just doing a great job. Great protection right here. That's the first thing you may notice is just really, really good protection, opening it up for AJ. And this right here is as good a throw as you're going to get. He threw the ball. The only place it could be caught, high to the outside. And, of course, Raquan just goes up and makes a fantastic big-time catch right here. Again, we call him a zero coverage. We're going to work on that when we catch him in it. It's going to be an area we're going to attack. We always talk about throwing to whether or not throwing to grass and a good play call, good play, and just fantastic execution by everybody. Just really nice job by the offensive line. Give them credit.
Touchdown number 5. It's the one he ran in.
Okay. Just out here, just awesome effort by AJ. Just taking it. The rush, just offensive line, just really a good job. Everybody, guard gets a little breakdown, but AJ just tucked it down, saw grass, and ran to it. And that's been a big thing with AJ this year. Run the football, when we need it. So not having any negative plays. Instead of taking a sack a year ago, AJ might have been sacked right there, but this year he's turned those into big plays for us, and that's been a big reason we're still playing right now.
I get nervous when I see him going airborne like that.
It's great effort, great determination to get in the end zone.
This is the long run by Anderson. There's so many I can.
Yeah, again, here's our heavy package, just trying to knock people off the ball, create some openings for Raekwon for his vision, and just right here, great job. Just again, that just shows a track guy running a track guy down right there. They're number 2, but you can see the scores 35-34. We're just trying to get down the field, get more points, and great job by the offensive line, creating an opening, and Raekwon hitting it.
How about the speed of number 8 down here at the bottom coming into the screen?
Well, like we said, we talked about this. They've got some great athletes at Montgomery. Good track program, and that's the difference right there. You get guys. This guy, he runs Raekwon down from actually the other side, and there's other guys closing in fast. There's 3 guys right there, so that just shows you the athletic talent, the athleticism that Montgomery has.
This next one is Raekwon's. I believe this is another touchdown run by Raekwon. Notice the pass.
Yep, great, really a good throw, just almost like a back shoulder throw, and just have it up there, put some air into the ball, and with AJ being 6'3", get up there at the highest point and just pull this thing down, and really great effort by AJ just to go up over this kid and pull it down. We really needed that right then. That was a must thing. And of course, in this formation, you're going to get that coverage. We want one-on-one coverage. Just take it and throw it up, and hopefully our guy's better than their guy, and right there he was.
This one coming up is the long run by Raekwon.
Again, our heavy formation, we will go unbalanced in it, which I think we are right here, and just a great run, and he was able to outrun those track guys on that one.
And this last one is the pass that sealed it. We could finally breathe a little.
Yeah, third down. I think it was 3rd and 5. It was we had a timeout there, and it was one of those things. We're just going to really have one of our best player throw it to our other best player, hoping that we were going to get the same coverage. I tell you, it didn't look the way it was supposed to look, nothing like it was supposed to look. But they made it work, made it happen, and just a great job by AJ right there going over the top and coming down with what essentially ended the game and let us go to victory formation and be done with that one.
He got a little emotional after that one, didn't he?
Yeah, he got excited
got us
about
a flag.
it.
Thankfully, it didn't cost us.
It didn't hurt us, and I understand the emotion and the excitement because it was a long, tough football game, and that play right there sealed it for us.
I wanted, before we move on to the Commerce game, Coach, if you don't mind, I wanted to hit on, there it is. We talked so much about the offense lately. I wanted to show our defensive leaders, if we could, real quick.
Defensive stats to this point. Travis Ray, inside linebacker. Those inside linebacker guys, those are the guys that are supposed to get all the tackles. Travis Ray with 56 tackles on the year, and Eric Daniels, who plays some inside backer, some outside linebacker with 44.5, and then Sean Bolden with our other inside linebacker with 38, Michael Elliott with 39. I should have flipped that right there. I mistaked on that. But just a really good job by those guys. And then after a defensive back, Trayvon Green, who comes up and makes a lot of tackles as defensive back position. The rest of those, the next 3 of those guys are defensive linemen who all having a pretty good year, juniors. Just really that right there is best part of our defense, we feel, is our defensive line. Sacks, good numbers in sacks this year compared to last. We feel like our defensive line is really getting after it, and also Coach Pender's calling up some defenses that are allowing our linebackers. Sean Bolden has 2, and Travis Ray has 3 some linebacker pressures, doing good there. Fumble recoveries is something we always try to at least have one a game, a little bit behind the pace on those. But and then interceptions, just pretty good job by Saquon Clark at corner, Raekwon Anderson at safety, and then block kicks, Sean Bolden with 2 block kicks, and Raekwon with 1 block kick. I think all those coming off of extra point or field goal blocks. We really try to set up more returns on punts than go after them, although we do have a pressure package for punts that we have been working on for this week and so forth.
All right. Coach, I appreciate it. We're going to take a quick break unless you have something else you want to hit on from
that's
Montgomery.
fine.
I know there was a bunch for them this past week. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back and dive into commerce.
Okay.
Since 2009, Southeastern Automotive Group has been buying for and selling to most of the franchise dealerships in the area. What if you were able to bypass the big dealerships with the big markups? Buy direct from the supplier. Save thousands of dollars on your next vehicle purchase. Have a trade-in? No problem. With used vehicles in such high demand, Southeastern Automotive Group has dealers ready to buy your trade. If Southeastern Automotive Group doesn't have the perfect vehicle for you, using their vehicle locator program, they will have it shipped in without any hassle or haggling you hate. With over hundreds of thousands of cars available at auctions across the nation, your next vehicle purchase is just a click away.
Okefenokee Rural Electric Membership Corporation has been providing quality electric service at a competitive price to residential, commercial, and industrial customers in southeast Georgia and northeast Florida since 1939. For tips and advice on how to save electricity and stretch your energy dollars, call 1-800-262-5131 and speak to your marketing representative. We are a cooperative owned by those we serve.
Hey Indian fans, did you know you're eligible to join United First Federal Credit Union? We are your hometown financial institution offering services such as online banking, mobile deposit, free checking, and much more. And if you're in the market to purchase a vehicle, our auto loan rates start as low as 2.49%. We are conveniently located at 3773 2nd Street in Folkestone. Rates and terms subject to conditions, federally insured by NCUA and
Welcome back to the Coach Max Show. It's Commerce Week, Coach, where that's got that 6-hour bus ride. That's if you drive straight through and don't stop.
Yeah, it's going to be it's a trip we've made before, and we've successfully made it before. And like I said, I think it was 2013. We rode up there, and with the way computers are and everything, how you can save everything. I just brought up the same travel itinerary that we had back in 2013, made just a little bit of adjustments, and we're going to use it the same one. We're going to Friday morning we'll have the kids here at 8 o'clock, and we're going to have breakfast, and then we're going to do some film before we get ready to get on the bus about 8:45, and then we'll take off and stop in Telfair County High School to use the restrooms and maybe have a little snack and give them some something to drink, and then we'll get back on the bus and go to Milledgeville, Georgia, where we'll do our pregame meal up there, and then after that we'll head right on into Commerce. So we've got it broken up to we're never on the road more than 2 hours, which works out really well for us. Hope to get to Commerce a little bit early, let the guys get on the field, run around a little bit like we've done in the past, and get loose, and before we have to go in the locker room, get dressed, and start our pregame routine. But Commerce is an excellent football team, excellent football program. Last year, every year they go deep in the playoffs, a couple rounds at least. Coach Brown has just done an awesome job with them. It's a school that's in Commerce, Georgia. It's fantastic wrestling program. A lot of people know the wrestling program, know the football program, which I think both programs really help each other. A lot of their kids who wrestle play football, and you can see it in their style of play. That kid, that wrestling type of athlete, strong, low to the ground football player. You can see how the sport really helps them. What we're going to see offensively from them is going to be what you'll see from Georgia Tech. Really, it's the spread wishbone or option oriented attack. The plays that really, the fullback is somebody you have to stop, and the quarterback, and of course they do a great job pitching in all three phases of the triple option. And the thing is with them, they'll run the midline, the inside veer, and the outside veer. So you got to be prepared for all three of them. And then the quarterback keeping it on any of those. And it's a great scheme. It's really a difficult scheme to stop and prepare for. And then the rocket sweep, I think, is one of the best plays in football, especially out from under center. And you'll see them run that, and that's something that we really have to prepare for, something we've been working hard all today and yesterday and all week is the triple option and that. And then they'll come off that, especially to come off the rocket look and pull up and throw the football. And it's, it's just a real outstanding scheme. Defensive side of the ball, we see an odd front mostly. Of course, they can get into anything they want to get into. Defensive line, linebackers are really stout. Secondary plays really well, we think. It's a very, very good, solid football team. They play in a tough region up there. I believe them and Towns County may be the only public schools in that region. The rest are private schools. Athens Academy was one of their losses. That was pretty much for the region championship. Athens Academy may win the state championship on the private side. So they play some really tough competition, really good people. So it's going to be one of those games where it's going to be very physical, the line of scrimmage, no question about that. We're going to have to, our defense is going to have to play a lot better than it did a week ago, or we'll get ran out. We'll give up 80 points to these guys. Offensively, we've got to take advantage of our possessions. We've got to make our possessions count, get the ball down the field, get in the end zone whenever we can, every opportunity we can. It's going to be a hard-fought football game, and against two teams that are, I feel like two good football teams. And I've always been impressed the way Commerce plays. I really like that style of football they play. It's mash mouth. It's big fullback hitting you hard and coming off at the option. It's kind of the style that we started with back here in 1990 with the wishbone. But it's something that we're going to be prepared for it. We're not going to be surprised by anything. The whole idea is just you got to execute on defense and play assignment football and do the best you can to contain it.
I know Friday night, this past Friday, you could almost refer to it as a flying circus out of Montgomery. Commerce is going to be basically the polar opposite of that. I mean, they're grind it out, kind of wear you down type of offense.
Yeah, I mean, for an offense like that, you get 5 yards on a play, that's terrific. And they're really going to just hit you in the mouth and get after you. And their offensive line is huge. Their offensive line is excellent group of offensive linemen, and they're going to really grind at you. They got a big roster of nearly 80 kids, a lot of football participation up there, and so it's going to be a tough challenge for us. But we're excited to make the trip, and we're excited to get a chance to play football at least one more time.
Defensively, do you expect them to? I know you don't want to give away your game plan, but do you expect them to try to put pressure in the backfield, or?
I think they're going to mix it up. They're going to mix in pressure with coverage. That's really about all you can do against us, and that's what we've seen all year long. We practice every day against pressure packages, against the blitz, and hitting hot receivers and our check down receivers, and we also we prepare against teams that are going to drop back and play coverage on you. So really, there's two ways to play you. The coverage or the pressure. So we've seen it all year long. We've prepared for it. I know they're going to do a really good job, and they're going to be very prepared. They're going to play great technique and responsibility. It's just it's something we're just going to have to be prepared for, and I think we are.
No, we were there, 4 years ago? We made that trip?
Yeah, 2013, we went up there. We had a great game against them. Very, very cold night that ended up raining on us. I thought it was going to be cold enough to snow, but the weather conditions turned really bad, and we played really well and had a great game with them and came out on top. And that was, like I said, back in 2013. In 2015, we played them right here. I think it was another hard-fought game, close game, but we came up short on that one. So we have a little bit of history with them. They're a great program. Coach Brown just does a great job, as good a coach as anybody we've went against.
They have a lot of, they're like us as far as fan support and all too. I remember the last time we were there, the atmosphere was, you can almost compare it to what we have here at a home game. They really come out for their Tigers.
They do. It's a great atmosphere. They've had a lot of success way back in the day. I remember back in 1999, we were in the semifinals, and they were in the semifinals against Lincoln County. We won our game the day before in the Dome. The next day, Commerce and Lincoln played one another, and during the game, I thought we were going to play Commerce for sure, but it ended up being Lincoln County came on top that day, and we played Lincoln, but the next week for the state championship. But Commerce is a team that's always right there. You're always going to see them deep in the playoffs, and a tremendous program, great support up there, a good football situation.
I know going up there, we're expecting the cool weather. I checked the weather before the show. It looks like we're expecting low 40s up there. Thankfully, I think it's been a blessing. We've been cold down here, so our guys should be acclimated to that somewhat.
Yeah, I told the guys, I said the only people that may have problems are going to be the guys not playing, but you guys are playing. It's going to be perfect for you. It's going to be short sleeve weather for the guys on the field. Last Friday night it got cool here, in the low 50s, which is cold for us. And but again, looking at the weather when we show up, it's probably going to be in the low 60s, high 50s, and so it's that time of year. It's playoff time. I've always told our kids, good football teams get to play in the cold. So it's not going to be a problem. It's not going to be an issue for either team. So that's not even a problem for us, I don't think.
Friday morning, is it all right if I throw our itinerary up on the screen
Sure,
for the
go
football
ahead.
team? I'll show the fans what the Indians are doing, and maybe they can plan their trip, around that to get up there, because I know we're going to have a lot of road warriors making that ride Friday morning.
Well, it's just like I said, it's the exact same itinerary that I used back in 2013, and just had to change the date for the most part, and just going to be one of those things where our kids travel well. Jeff Highsmith, who is in charge of our transportation here at Charlton County, does a great job. You got Tommy Bryant, Mr. Russell Murray, and Jeff Highsmith. Those guys do a great job. They've driven those buses all over the state of Georgia for us, and we're going to take Stanley Sims with us for an extra bus driver if we need it, especially for the ride home. But we're most comfortable on school buses. We've always tried to take school buses everywhere we went. The charter buses, it's just not really fits who we are, So we're happy on the school buses, and like I said, we'll break the trip up, and it shouldn't be a problem.
What time do you think? You may have already said it. What time ballpark you think parents can expect their kids back Saturday morning?
I'll tell you, it's going to be it's late, or early, depending on how you want to look at it. I would guess Saturday morning, probably 4 o'clock in the morning, probably
Really?
Getting back, and so it's going to be it'll be an early morning or a late one, however you want to look at it. But and again, back in the days we were making deep in the playoffs every year. This is just what we did. We had 4 straight weeks of travel like this, and in 2013 we made the trip to Commerce and won, and turned around and made the trip over to Seminole County, which is over on the border by Alabama, and was successful there. And the same kind of thing, another 6-hour trip. So it's just what we do. We load up and we go play football. So we're excited about the opportunity.
That's one of many road trips you've made over the last 27 years. I wished I'd cropped it out. I saw a thing that Glenn did for all the different road trips everywhere the Indians have been over the years. Been all over, Coach.
Really have. We've played up by Chattanooga a couple times, and we've played all the way down in Belle Glades on the south side of Lake Okeechobee before. That was about a 9-hour trip. I went down there, and Yeah, I think Glenn Hughes had it on Facebook and showed it where all the places we've been, and most of those dots we've been there more than once. I mean, Lincoln County, I think we've been there 3 times, and Miller County, Seminole County, over on the border of Georgia and Alabama, and so yeah, we've been all around. There's been some people that have made all those games. Glenn Hughes, he's our stat guy. He's made them. We've rode on some buses all over this place.
Oh, Coach, Thursday night, I'm going to post our game link. We're carrying the game live for those people that can't make the trip. And what I'll do also is I'll post directions to Commerce for the folks that are making the trip as well, so everybody will be able to get the directions all in one spot.
Okay.
All right, anything else you want to hit on?
Yeah, just, trip like this, I know there's going to be a lot of people who can't make it, and I really appreciate what you've done, and all the sponsors who have made it possible, and hopefully we can, go up there and play some great football and have an opportunity to win and have an opportunity to hopefully play another game next week.
All right, Coach, I appreciate it. Good luck Friday night. It's going to be a fun one. I think it'll be exciting. Y'all, let's make everybody, we need y'all up there. You can watch the replay. It's going to be on YouTube. Let's travel and support the Indians. We'll have game links later. Oh, also, Coach, our 12 and under rec football team is headed to Appleton County, headed to Alma to take on Appleton County tonight at 7:30.
Good luck to those guys.
They're in the quarterfinals.
Great.
All right, we'll see y'all Friday night. Game time kickoff 7:30. Thank you for watching the Coach Mack Show.